Is curry bad for you? No, it's an amazing spice and you can do so many different things with it. I'm gonna show you right now how to make an amazing tasting curry chicken that's extremely healthy and high in protein. What we're gonna be making today is curry chicken. Now, how did I come about with this recipe? I really didn't. I mean, honestly, I think recipes are one of those things where they're just ideas and different recipes and everything's shared, and especially with the internet now, you can kind of pull ideas from other people's recipes, and that's kind of what I did. I was making like a curry chicken tacos, but I really wanted to like spice them up and make them something really cool and exciting. Started doing some research on a lot of Indian spices that I didn't really know too much about. I found some and then got together with my roommate and did some experimenting, and this is what we came up with. So really the premise of this whole dish is a lot like the other episodes, whereas I wanted to create something that just tasted insanely powerful and amazing, kind of like that feeling when you eat pizza, you know, where your mouth just explodes without having all the fat and calories and carbs and everything else that come along with pizza. And this is really clean. It's essentially just chicken, vegetables, and spices. That's it. There's nothing else added to that. There's no butter, there's no nothing. It's just those simple ingredients. So here we go. I have a wok here. I only use this because, I don't know, it's fun, and we happen to have one here at the house. You do not have to have one. You can just cook it on your stove with a regular old pot and pan, and you're good to go. But if you do have a wok, it's kind of cool just because it gets so hot and it just makes the whole dish, it's easier to cook quicker, you know, and most people are in a hurry these days. So if you do have a wok, I recommend using it just because you can make the dish literally twice as fast with it. But if you don't, use a pan. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get a little bit of coconut oil. I use literally nothing. I mean, it's like, I don't know what it's like a teaspoon maybe. And I put it in here. And it's really just to cook the vegetables. It's not for taste or anything. It's really just to cook the vegetables and soften them up. So I just put enough just to layer it so they don't stick really. So first thing I'm gonna do is put the onions in, because they take the longest. So I cook my onions and I cook my garlic, and then I have some fresh ginger in there too. So I put all those in at the same time. I'm not trying to caramelize them, and I'm not trying to brown them. I'm really just trying to soften them up. We are cooking with a lot of onions and spices, so I also recommend turning a fan on or opening a window, because it does get pretty intense in the kitchen. But it's a good intense. So we're just gonna cook those onions up. Usually only takes like 2 or 3 minutes. And then we'll start adding all the rest of the stuff. All right, so I got the onions all nice and softened up, and the garlic's cooked, the ginger, it's all good to go. Now we're gonna start adding in all the dry ingredients. This is the good part, this is the fun part, because this is where the kitchen gets smelling really good. Actually, your entire house is gonna smell good after you cook this. This has a ton of spices in it, way too many to mention right now. But like I said, they're all available at your local grocery store. If you can't find it there, you can find them online. The exact spices will be on the website, and the exact measurements and everything. We've really broken it down. One of the things that we do add to it is the cayenne pepper. You can add as much of that as you want. Just know that the amount that I put is pretty much a good spice level for everyone. But if you like your food really spicy, then just add more cayenne. It's that simple. So we're gonna add some cumin in there and some cayenne. Some curry, obviously it's curry chicken. Throw that in there. Some coriander. I think I say it wrong, but whatever. That's my problem. Some turmeric, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Cool, so we got that, and then I just mix that up a little bit, kind of coat the onions. Put that in there like that. Then I add my tomatoes. This is just crushed red tomatoes. You can crush your own if you have a food processor. Keep it super healthy. Grow your own tomatoes in your backyard, crush them yourself. If not, you can buy a can of tomatoes. We're gonna add the yogurt. This is just plain Greek yogurt. Make sure when you put the Greek yogurt in there that you really mix it around good. It will get clumpy if you don't mix it immediately. And then we're gonna do some cilantro, and then we're gonna do some cauliflower. Basically what we're doing is we're putting cauliflower in instead of potatoes. So typically if you had this at an Indian restaurant, they would serve it with potatoes, but we're substituting the potatoes with cauliflower. It's just better for you, simple as that. And then we're gonna add a little bit of water to that just to thin out the sauce. And then we're gonna let this cook for about between 10 and 12, 15 minutes, somewhere in there. It's really personal preference. It depends on how soft you like your cauliflower. So I like mine a little crispier, so what I'll do is around the 10-minute mark, I'll taste the cauliflower and see if it's where I like it. But it's really up to you. So if you like your cauliflower all mushy and gross, cook it longer. Cool, so this has been cooking for about 10 minutes. I already checked the cauliflower. It's how I like it. It's definitely cooked, but a little on the crunchy side. We're also gonna cook it for another 5 minutes, so the cauliflower is gonna soften up even more. So at this point, this is where I put in the pre-cooked chicken, and basically I just cube it, kind of like in about one inch size cubes, and then I just put it in. So just mix that in there. So I just mix that in and heat it back up, and I'm gonna let that simmer. I'm gonna let it simmer for about, I don't know, about 5-6 minutes. Basically, I'm just heating the chicken back up. All right, cool, that's been cooking for about, total of about 15 minutes since we put the cauliflower in. The chicken's nice and reheated, it's good to go. At this point, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the garam masala, and we just sprinkle that on top, mix that in real good. I'm not too entirely sure exactly what that spice is, but all I know is it tastes freaking amazing. And hopefully they have it at your grocery store, which they probably will, but you're really gonna have to look hard. So I mix all that in. I'm gonna throw in a little bit more cilantro. I'm gonna throw in some tomatoes. You can use whatever tomatoes you like. I just usually go for like a cherry tomato. It's just, they're small already, they're easy to cut up. So I just do as many tomatoes as I personally like. You can do like a half cup or something like that. Add cup if you like more tomatoes, it's up to you. So the main thing with the tomatoes is that's the last thing to add, because really you're just trying to heat them up. If you put them in too early, they're gonna get all mushy and gross. So you add those tomatoes in there, mix it up again, and you are good to go. Time to serve it, let's do this. One of the most important things to this dish that I found out the hard way by not having a lemon was the lemon. So when I put it on the plate, I add a little bit more cilantro. That's more just for looks, make the plate look cool and pop. And the main thing though is the lemon. So after you plate it, squirt lemon over the top of the dish and serve it to your friends and see what they think. Hopefully they like it as much as I do. Tacos, one of my favorite foods in the whole world, but they're bad for you. They have a ton of crap on them. I'm gonna show you how to make this food that's bad for you good.